Hi, Daphne.
Hello, mother. The shtick.
The shtick. We always do that same thing. It's our shtick.
It's our shtick.
Stick-a-dick, as you said.
Stick-a-dick.
Stick-a-dick. Is that like shick-dick?
I was going to say like steak dick. How goes it? How's your day? How's your week?
It's good. It's good. It's Friday. I'm done for the week.
Friday.
Yeah, Friday is right. TGIF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God it's fuck.
No, thank God it's Friday. Wow.
TGIFF. Thank God it's fucking Friday.
Yeah, and there's that.
That's
a thing.
That is a thing as well. Yeah, I don't know. Why does it look so low?
I don't know.
Are we talking like really quietly?
I don't think so.
Are these things turned up all the way?
Yeah.
I feel like you touched something last time.
I didn't touch shit. I like how you're blaming me. I feel like it's your fault, Mom.
I feel like it is your fault. Oh, I guess I shouldn't fuck with that too hard. I'm going to put it back to normal. I'm going to put it back to how it normally looks-ish.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why. Is there like some kind of thing where it's like in mini mode versus regular mode?
No.
Yeah, because we're recording, obviously, and we can see our voices on the screen that we're recording on. And like they're teeny tiny. And normally they're giant because, you know, we have big ass fucking voices.
Now I just made them go away completely.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Maybe the amplitude thing was turned down because that looks normal.
Yeah, that looks good. Let's do that.
Okay. I
feel more comfortable seeing it like that. Like this little tiny, like we're going to come out like we sound like fucking ants. And nobody's going to be able to hear us. I cannot talk today.
I can't either. I've had a hard time Englishing the whole day.
Yeah, you can't English and I can't speak. So cool. This will be fun.
Yeah, I mostly Spanglish.
What? You don't even speak any Spanish, so I don't think you... Well, maybe. ¿Dónde está?
El baño.
That's what Daphne has.
And all right. Chongles and chonklas and chones. Yes, that's what I got.
That's what Daphne has.
The C's.
Yeah. All right, what's your disturbing fact?
So, you know how I was on the death thing? We're still on the death thing.
Cool.
So, death is disturbing still.
It is still disturbing, but I like how you got irritated with me. Not irritated, but grossed out with all my disgustingness. But I guess I didn't say anything about death. So you just go on about your bad death self.
My bad death. Okay, so suicide in England was once considered a very heinous crime.
I've heard that. I didn't know it was England. In England, I was going to say English.
And they punished people after they were even dead from suicide.
Well, that seems a little difficult to do. What do they do? Like put their dead bodies in jail?
So to the English, suicide was self-murder, and the perpetuators...
It is self-murder. Weird.
Yeah. The perpetuators of unsuccessful suicide were charged as felons.
Well, that will make you want to fucking live.
And the property of a suicide victim would be confiscated by the crown after death. So, like, if they had family, the family's not getting shit. It's going to the crown.
That's fucked up.
Which, you know, prompted the families to disguise suicides to, you know, preserve their inheritance.
To disguise suicides?
Yeah, to be like, oh, this wasn't a suicide. We actually killed them. Right.
So don't punish us. Because that's a better choice. We killed instead of suicide.
So another deterrent to suicide was that the victim would be denied Christian burial rights. People were concerned that this would affect their afterlife and prevent their resurrection. So friends or family would also have to bury, like, the bodies themselves with the suicide.
Or out there digging a fucking hole with a shovel.
Yeah.
And do they have to, I guess, I don't know, can they still purchase a coffin, or is that, like, not allowed?
Too taboo.
Either, right? I was going to say taboo, but, like, is it prohibited by law?
Right, if they purchase a coffin or casket.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't see that part about it, if they could or not.
Wow.
I just imagined them being, like, wrapped up in a rug.
Yeah, I didn't even imagine that. I just imagined them, like, digging a hole and just fucking dropping them in.
So the English enforced these laws to combat suicide, but also because they feared them. They feared, like, the suicides. So superstition held that a suicide victim's spirit could return to haunt the home after death. And in order to prevent the spirit from roaming after death, they were buried at crossroads. So they were like trying to confuse the spirits.
Okay. So what do you mean they were buried at crossroads? Like an intersection?
Yeah, like literal crossroads.
Wow. And you have to bury them yourself. So you're like, okay, I'm going to go to I-25 and I-70. And
yeah, basically, I'm going to bury them right here under this underpass right here. See this part of grass? Yeah. Don't question if it looks dug up. We would still like our belongings.
Right. Well, we weren't allowed to do a professional burial, so we had to do it ourselves.
Yeah, and they were definitely murdered. So you can't come after our stuff.
Fucking weird.
And another safety measure that they would use was driving a stake through the suicide victim's heart.
In case they were a vampire.
Vampire. In case they were a vampire.
Yes, that's what I meant.
No, because they wanted to, like, I don't know, piss them off. I don't know. I feel like that pissed me off after death. If I knew that somebody was burying me at a crossroads and putting a stake through my heart, I'd definitely find my way back home and fuck with you guys.
Well, I don't know. I might think it was kind of cool because I'd be like, they thought I was a vampire. Who knew? Although I don't fucking stay up at night.
Yeah, they thought that these people would, like, terrorize the living, the suicide victims.
And I like garlic.
I like garlic, too.
Garlic
We're doing
bread.
this again. We're doing this again. I'll be like, I like fajitas.
I could really go for a quesadilla.
Yeah, basically. That's another Spanish word I know.
Oh, good. And fajitas.
And fajitas. I don't know what fajitas means.
It means meat and stuff.
Meat and veggies?
Yeah, like seared up.
Oh.
I think.
Just rolling with it. Just rolling with the fucking
That's the description of it anyway.
Yeah, and they'd also bury them by, like, the seaside, too, to, like, you know, confuse the spirits again.
Oh,
and so, like, at the crossroads or at the seaside and with the stake through their heart. So that way they wouldn't terrorize the living. But I feel like the living would be terrorized doing this to their loved ones.
Well, and I'm, like, picturing that you, like, bury them at low tide. And then, like, high tide comes in, and then, like, every time the waves are lapping, it's fucking digging them up. And by the time it's high tide, because they're
like zombies, they can just come back up and turn. Like, what the fuck is this stake in my heart?
Well, it's like, it's salt water, so they're floating with a stake in their heart.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
God, we're horrible. We're making fun of this. This actually happened to people.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know. It seems like it's not real, so that's why I'm making fun of it. But if this has happened to your family member, I apologize for laughing.
I don't know if this would have happened to anybody's living family member.
Well, but in their ancestry.
Yeah.
They go in
that's
ancestry.
Why I said living. Well, obviously, they would be living if this happened.
They go to ancestry.com and they're like, ooh, man, this was a bad thing.
Yeah, but they also tried to disguise it, remember?
Yeah, but if they put died by stake in the heart, I think you can deduce.
Die by stake in the heart. They'd get staked after death. This person's committing suicide, not by driving a stake through their own heart.
I know, but I'm saying the cause
maybe
of death, instead of it being a suicide, cause of death is a stake through the heart.
Oh, so that way they could still get properly buried like a Christian.
Yeah, and get their belongings.
The family gets their belongings. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, see, that's not where my brain went. My brain was like, no, they committed suicide. That's why they got the stake through the heart. And then the coroner's like, why is there a gunshot in their head?
And they have gunpowder residue on their hands.
Yeah. Or what's up with their stomach?
So what was the time period of this?
I don't know. Ancient.
Ancient. So last week.
Yeah, super ancient. Yeah, super last week, super ancient. Yeah, that's what I got.
Huh.
We're just on the death thing still happening. So be prepared for at least the next 10 of moms to be death.
No, mine will be disgusting. I'm going to go back to that.
No, mine. Like,
oh, I thought you meant be prepared.
You're great. Mom. Fucking, you said it. Yours are going to be. No, mine will be disgusting. Great. Every time we say here and Mom does a disgusting one, I'm like, geez, can I excuse myself? I need to use the bathroom. You might hear some retching happening. Awesome. God, like the fucking, like, ew. The milk one that you did. Or the pee as fucking laundry detergent. It's like, you know what? Actually, I have some stains I need to take care of. Let's find out if this works or not. I was going to try 1 part baking soda, 1 part hydrogen peroxide, 1 part Dawn dishwashing soap. Fuck it. I'm just going to try pee.
Well, it'd be a lot easier than your 3-part thing.
I don't know.
All you have to do is hold it under you while you're going
3-part, like 1 part of each is what it is.
Yes. I mean, 1 part of 3 different things seems more complicated than just urinating on something. Although it wasn't really urinated on. Remember, you had to like collect the urine and let it turn into ammonia.
Yeah.
So that'd be fun.
Yeah, is that with
Daphne,
a closed container, or do I have to like vent it?
Let it ferment.
Yeah.
Daphne, can you pee in this mason jar, please? Because I need some stain remover. I'm out of
That's
shit.
kind of what I was thinking. I was like, but do we have to vent it? Do we not vent it? That looks sus at my pet sitting job.
I think
I'm sitting on the counter.
I think it had to be vented because they peed in chamber pots, which didn't have lids, to my knowledge.
Okay, so it's open air. But then wouldn't that just make it, like, evaporate?
Apparently it evaporates down to just ammonia.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking way too hard about this.
No
I'm like,
shit.
maybe it works. We'll
Shit.
report back.
No, we won't. I mean, or if you do, I don't want to witness any of it happening. I'll just have
You're
the
like, what is this yellow jar?
Gross. You're so... And you say I'm disgusting. You're like, oh, disgusting, and then you just keep going.
Put it somewhere where you're going to find it, and you're going to go, what the fuck, Daphne?
Please don't. Because you will. I know you.
Yeah.
Gross.
I will. You know me.
You nasty.
You nasty, girl.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Okay.
Moving on with our lives.
What do you have for me?
I have the Craigslist Killer.
Oh. Male or female? Is his name Craig? Did he have a list? Did he kill people off this list because his name was Craig and he has a list? Is that how they came up with the name?
No, the list just belongs to Craig because it's Craig's list.
He's the killer.
No, the killer is
His
actually
list of
not Craig.
victims.
But that would be ironic, but it isn't. It's not.
Oh, it would be ironic.
Yes, if the Craigslist killer was named Craig.
And he had a list.
People he was going to kill.
Yeah.
Cheese. Okay. Cheese.
Yum.
Yeah. Shall we get into it?
Yeah, only if it's Gouda.
I'm like, the case is not Gouda. It's Bada.
It's Bada. I was saying cheese, but yeah, let's go.
All right. Phillip Hayes Markoff is actually...
Markoff?
Markoff. Yeah, M-A-R-K.
Okay, because see, my future husband, his last name is Markoff.
Okay, well,
Bo Markoff, Maddie McKibben.
Oh, gotcha.
From Awkward.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, okay, it's cool.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm trying to think because, like, he was cute and then he wasn't. I don't know.
I think that man is just dreamy.
Amazing.
He's amazing. Okay.
Amazing. Okay, so it's Markoff. Markoff. And he was born February 12th, 1986 in Sherrill, New York, to a mother named Susan Hayes and his father, Richard Markoff, who was a dentist in Syracuse, New York. Phillip, although had these parents, right?
Really? He had parents?
He had parents. He grew up with his mom and his stepdad. And his older brother...
I thought you were going to say he got dropped off at the orphanage.
No, but we wouldn't know about this maybe. I don't know. We wouldn't have a background. I don't know.
Well, I think we would.
Well, we would know about it, but I don't think we'd have a background. But anyway, so he grew up with his mom and his stepfather, Gary Carroll, his older brother, Jonathan Markoff, and his half-sister, Haley, who was the only child of Susan and Gary. Susan was a stay-at-home mom, and Gary was a banker. And the family lived kind of a nice life, quiet, comfortable. No, they weren't.
This is the 80s, 90s.
Yeah. The family moved into a nice 2-story colonial-style house on Thurston Terrace in this Sherrill town, right?
Okay.
In the mid-1980s. So I'm thinking that his parents divorced when he was young because he was born in 1986.
Right. I'm thinking this is the late 80s that they probably moved into this house.
Well, it said the mid-80s. But
When do you stop counting it as mid and start saying late?
I don't know. But
See, I would think like
87 is late.
Yeah, I would think.
Yeah, I would too. I would
6,
think
7. I think like I don't know. So like 4, 5, 6, maybe 7. I'd start to say is
I
mid.
would say that too. Because if you divide 10 by 3, then what's in the middle
is mid.
is mid.
Because it's middle.
Yes. So according to former neighbor Dorothy Guider, they were, quote, terrific people. Former teachers going as far back as elementary school describe Phillip as being academically brilliant, never causing or getting into trouble. He was interested in money, coins, which is money.
Yeah.
But that's specifically.
Maybe like collecting coins?
I don't know. And trading cards. So yeah, I guess collecting. And he excelled in science and math.
Okay.
All right. So Hayes and Carol, so Susan and Gary, divorced in 2004. Phillip graduated high school that same year from Vernon, Verona, Sherrill High School.
That's a mouthful.
I know, right? And
Verona.
Vernon, Verona. Maybe they couldn't decide.
Is there like male and female versions of
we
this?
like Vernon, but we like Verona. Let's just go with both.
Yeah, let's just do both.
Let's do it.
What if that was someone's name? Vernon, Verona.
I don't know.
That'd be weird.
Well, maybe it was since it was a high school.
That'd be like Michael Michelson.
Well, you know how high schools are named after people sometimes. Yours wasn't. Yours was named after like the area. The area. I'm like with my hands. Ooh, area.
The area.
Area. So Phillip was a member of the National Honor Society because, again, remember, he was academically brilliant.
Super bro.
Super bro. In his yearbook, his parents were listed as Susan and Gary with no mention of his birth father. So again, I'm thinking real young when they split, right?
And the dad had nothing to do with them.
Yeah, probably sounds like it. After high school, Phillip went on to the State University of New York at Albany, which is referred to as Sunny. I like that.
Sunny.
He was
like when I watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer and they live in Sunnydale.
Oh, I love it.
And her last name is Summers. I'm like, ugh, that's the fucking life. Yeah. Except for that they're over the hellmouth. But that's neither here nor there.
Except for the parts where it isn't the life. He was a pre-med student and he graduated from Sunny in 2007. In 2005, he met and began a serious relationship with Megan McAllister, and they met while they were both volunteers at Albany Medical Center Hospital, and she was 2 years older than him, but, you know, they fell in love, and, you know, 2 years, big deal.
Yeah, big whoop.
Yeah, exactly. After dating for 3 years, the couple was engaged and was to be married on August 14th of 2009.
Okay.
He ended up attending the Boston University School of Medicine. So he's in medical school. He has a fiance. He looks to be living like a pretty idyllic life.
He has a coin collection. Good for him. And his trading cards.
Yeah. So
yeah. He's got it going on.
He seems like, yeah, he's got it going on.
Yeah, got it going on.
So why?
Oh, lip. So why in 2008 did he begin exchanging messages on Craigslist with someone who at the time would be termed a transvestite? Nowadays, obviously transgender, but in 2008, the person was a transvestite. And Phillip wrote, "Hey, sexy," on May 2nd, using the email address sexaddict5385@yahoo.com. So did he meet this person on like the Lonely Hearts section, I guess, if you will?
I'm going to keep on keeping on.
The missed connections.
No. So more messages were sent that included explicit pictures. So I'm thinking dick pics, right?
Yep. Dick pics. Wait, okay, so was the transgender person male to female, female to male?
I don't know. I don't have that detail.
Okay, well, I didn't know because he's got a fiance, so if he's like going the other way.
Yeah, I think probably going the other way.
Okay.
This encounter never resulted in a hookup, but in January of 2009, he again reached out to the same person with a different username. But again, there is no hookup from this, right?
Okay, so this person's marked safe.
Right. This person is safe. It was also reported that Phillip sent several messages and explicit photos to several men who posted ads on Craigslist labeled M for T, which means men looking for transvestites.
Okay, so he's posting these things.
He is sending messages and dick pics to men who have posted ads. So he's not posting an ad, he's just responding.
But he's a man.
Yeah, men looking for transvestites.
But wouldn't it be T looking for M, not M looking for T?
I'm
sorry, I'm thinking too logistically about this. I'm like, no, that's not right.
No, because he's not a transvestite, so it's men looking for transvestite. So he's a man.
Yeah, but he's not the one posting the ad, so you think that it's another man looking for it.
No, but I think it's geared towards men looking for that.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I don't know. I was going to say, because how else
he should use the ISO.
But
you know what ISO is, right? In search of?
Mm-hmm. I do. And it's different on a camera, but any hoodles.
What?
There's an ISO setting on cameras, because I'm trying to learn how to use cameras. Besides
when?
Pick and click and pick.
Since when are you trying to learn how to use a camera?
Oh, it was one time, a couple weeks ago.
You're like, did you know?
Did you know? Well, because our camera aficionados are going to be like, oh, it's also a setting on a camera.
Yeah.
So I just want people to know that I am aware of that fact.
I was thinking about it because I always see stuff on like a Facebook Marketplace. People are looking for free shit in search of XYZ.
In search of, yeah.
Or even on like Craigslist. Like I've been looking a lot for a new record player or like speakers or something because my output on my record player is just all fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And I just see a bunch of like in search of like this record, in search of that. Or like when I was trying to get my kitten in 2018, people were posting like in search of wanting this animal, but like no breeders. It was weird. Yeah, and I don't think when I got Moose it was a legitimate breeder, but that's neither here nor there. Thank you, Craigslist.
Yeah. So he was...
Neither here nor there is the line of the year.
I guess. So anyway, he was ISO M4T.
Okay. Rude.
He posted himself as a female, quote, ebony masseuse looking to service male clients, and there's no evidence one way or the other to say or not say that this resulted in any hookups, although I feel like they'd be surprised if.
Is he white or is he?
He is white, blonde hair, blue eyes.
Okay, that's kind of what I was picturing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's your standard, typical.
Yeah, well, he went to Vernon Verona, so I just assumed.
Yeah, exactly. He's your standard, typical Vernon Verona.
He's a Vernon Verona-ite.
Yes. April 10th, 2010, Phillip responded to an ad on Craigslist under the erotic services section, and he met up with Trisha Leffler, who advertised herself on Craigslist as a masseuse.
Okay.
Trisha was a sex worker who was from Las Vegas, and she had gone to Boston to work, and her ad on Craigslist had her phone number on it. So Phillip called her and asked what her rate was for half an hour. And she told him it was $200 an hour. And he said, okay, that's fine. And about 30 minutes later, they ended up meeting up. He went to the Westin Hotel where she had a room. And when he got there, he had her call him so she could go downstairs and meet him in the lobby. That was her practice, so that she made sure that she would feel safe with somebody.
Right.
Just before, just
taking them
having them go to her room. Yeah. And he's blonde hair, blue eyed, tall, good looking, straight laced looking guy, a decent looking guy. And so she felt safe because he was a normal looking guy. And the pair went up to...
Is he still engaged or married at this point?
He's engaged still because this is 2009, April of 2009. So it's 4 months before he's supposed to get married.
4 months before the big day.
4 months before the big day. And Trisha, again, she felt safe because he looked normal. But can I remind everybody that Ted Bundy also looked normal?
Can I remind you? Ew, he did not look normal. I mean, he looked normal, but how people were like, oh my God, he's so sexy. It's like, if we're trying to idolize a serial killer and like have the fan club of who's the sexiest serial killer, it is definitely not Ted Bundy. How people are always like, oh my God, he's so hot. Ah, la, 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 la. How people were like that. And
no, I got you. And I do think that Ted Bundy was attractive.
Oh, God.
But not like hot and sexy.
Excuse me while I go throw up in my mouth.
Well, he wasn't unattractive.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Yeah, something about he just looks untrustworthy.
Well, I'll give you that.
Like, he has
knowing what we know.
crazy eyes. No, but he has crazy eyes.
He has crazy eyes.
He does. He's got totally crazy eyes.
But, you can't judge a book by its cover. Its cover. So he's, looks normal. And she's like, okay, let's go upstairs to my room.
Yeah, okay. I understand that. Yeah. Ted Bundy was normal looking.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's lip is normal looking.
Lip is normal looking. As soon as the pair got into Trisha's room, she entered first, and then she turned around, and he was standing there just inside the door, and he had pulled a gun on her.
Oh, shit.
He told her to lay on the floor. He then told her to put her hands behind her back.
Her hands?
Her hands. And this is her recollection of what happened. So
she's also marked safe.
Yes, she is safe.
I don't know why I'm using fucking Facebook terms, marked safe. From XYZ.
Okay.
But you've seen that. You know what that is. The marked safe when there's something happening. Like the other day with the Maryland bridge collapsing, people that are in that area would check in on Facebook that they're safe.
Oh, no, because I don't ever get on Facebook. So.
Yeah, but that's been around since fucking Facebook.
Yeah, I still don't ever get on it really. So I don't know.
Okay,
nor do I know the terminology.
When different wildfires are happening here, you mark yourself as safe.
Okay.
From the wildfires.
Well, I'll just let you know because you're the only one that really gives a shit.
Jail King is safe.
And you're the only one that gives a shit. So
yeah.
I'll just tell you in person. I'm safe. I'm right here.
That's not true. I'm not the only one that gives a shit.
Okay. Well, maybe my dogs because they want to eat. So he told her to lay on the floor. I'll take good care. He told her to lay on the floor, and he told her to put her hands behind her back, and then he tied her up with zip ties.
Okay.
And Trisha at this point is pleading with him, saying, you don't have to do this.
I like silk.
Yeah. She's saying, you don't have to do this. I'll give you whatever you want. And he told her if she was quiet, he wouldn't hurt her. And he then, after he's zip tied her, he put on a pair of black leather gloves. He took her wallet out of her purse, and he started going through her wallet, and he took her cash and he put it in his pocket. And then he went through all of her credit cards, asking about each one. And they were all prepaid cards with no money. That's what she told him, right? And so he took her ATM card and he asked her for the PIN number. And because she was so shook by being robbed and at gunpoint,
she gave it to him.
Yeah, she didn't have time to think of a fake PIN number. So she gave him the real one. And he then told her that it better be the real PIN number or there will be a problem later, which, I'm not sure how that's going to play out because she's from Vegas and he's in Boston. And
right. She's like, I'll just hop on a flight back home.
Right.
We do have Expedia at this point.
Yeah, we do. We do. And then he took all of her credit cards out of her wallet and he put them in his pocket. And then he ended up just shoving her whole wallet in his pocket. And she was like, can I please have my ID back? Because I'm going to need my ID to get home and stuff. And he pulled it out and he was studying it like he was memorizing her address. And then he gave it back to her.
Oh, creepy.
Yeah. And she said that she was not afraid that he was going to kill her at this point. In the beginning, she wasn't sure. But she said his demeanor didn't indicate that he was going to, But to be fair, she also thought he looked harmless.
Yeah, otherwise she wouldn't have taken him upstairs.
Yeah. And he asked where the phone was that they had exchanged calls on. And so she told him, it's over there on the nightstand. And once he went through it and he erased all of their call logs, but, a digital imprint is forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if he's brilliantly academically brilliant, he should know that. But
yeah, but I don't know if you knew that in 2009 that everything online is forever.
I don't know. I feel like we knew that, but. And then he took the battery out and threw it behind the entertainment center in the room so that she couldn't get to it immediately. And by this time, he had put the gun in his pocket and he surveyed the room and walked over to her suitcase and took a pair of panties that were on the floor.
Creeper.
And put them in his pocket. And I'm like, how big are his fucking pockets?
That he can put a wallet, panties, he's carrying zip ties and a gun.
Yeah. He's putting money, credit
Maybe
cards.
He was wearing cargo pants.
Totally what I was just going to say. He's wearing cargo pants.
He's like, I got a lot of pockets.
Right. I need to have pockets for this gig that I'm doing. So
It's got parachute pants.
Anyway, I'm like, pockets. Then he zip tied her to the bathroom door. So apparently these zip ties are really long, or like looped a bunch of them together so that she would be like tied up long enough for him to get away. Then he taped her mouth shut, so he's got tape also.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Fair point. How big are his pockets? How many pockets? Maybe he had a bag.
But it says pockets.
Maybe he had like a duffel bag that he's pulling like the tape out of.
I don't know. But by the time he was putting the tape on her mouth, he had taken the gloves off. And also, at some point during the robbery...
So his fingerprints are on the tape.
His fingerprints are on the tape. Also, at some point during the robbery, he had cut the phone line in the room, so she couldn't use that either.
To call the front desk or 911 or whatever.
Right, exactly.
I don't know. Do hotel phones have more than like... Can you call 911 on a hotel phone?
Yeah, because you can make an outgoing phone call on a hotel phone.
I don't know. I don't know that I've ever used a hotel phone except for like room service.
Okay, fancy pants.
It's true. Just saying.
Room service. Then
you've ordered room service.
Oh my God, so many times. But
I'm like, shut up. I know you've ordered room service before.
I totally have. Then as he was leaving the room, he said to her, I'll call hotel security in about 15 minutes after I'm gone, and then I'll tell them that I heard something coming from this room. And then he left. And she was able to break herself free from the zip ties that she was zip tied to the bathroom door in about a minute.
So she's crafty. She's tricky.
She got out real quick. Well, there's
not tricky.
Ties.
She's
crafty.
Yeah.
She's got survival skills.
Yeah, I don't know what the word I was looking at. I don't know why I said tricky. She's crafty, I guess.
Yeah, or smart.
Yeah, I don't know that
wily. Is she wily?
Maybe. I don't know that I don't know that I'd be able to get out of zip ties in under a minute.
I don't know. Maybe she did it before.
You should have seen the wristband that was on my wrist last night. I had to cut it off. I tightened it way too much and there was like no going backwards once you tightened it. I literally had to slice it off.
There was no going back.
And I made it I didn't like purposely make it that tight. Like I accidentally like leaned on one side of my arm and tightened it. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
That, like I pulled on one of the ties, like putting my arm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You aggressively put your arm down and strangled your wrist.
I strangled my wrist. Yeah, literally.
with the wristband.
Yeah.
So she was able to break herself free in about a minute. And then she went to the room next door and she asked to use the phone in that room because she'd just been robbed. Police came and took everything that was potential evidence. They took pictures of the room.
Good. I'm glad she called the police.
Well, yeah.
Well, you never know.
Because she's a hooker.
Yeah.
A sex worker.
Yeah, she's a sex worker, so you never know if she's, going to do the right thing.
Right,
because she doesn't want to get in trouble.
Well, shoot, she even came forward. We have her whole name and everything.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm just proud of her. She did the right thing.
She did do the right thing. On April 13th, 2009, so 3 days later, he contacted 25-year-old Jalissa Brisman from her ad in the erotic services section on Craigslist, and she too had advertised herself as giving massage services.
Okay.
And the two
sex worker.
Yeah. So the two of them emailed back and forth and set up a meet for April 14th at 10 p.m. So the next day. Jalissa and her friend Beth Salamonis had a system in place. When somebody had already scheduled a meet with Jalissa, they called the phone that Jalissa had listed in her ad to let her know when they were at the Marriott Copley place where Jalissa had her room. And then Beth would answer that phone that Jalissa had. And then she would tell the guy, like, come to this room, blah, 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 whatever. Then she would text Jalissa that the guy was on his way to the room. And then Jalissa would text Beth when the guy left. So that was like their security system, like their little... That
doesn't seem very safe.
It does not.
I would just say, yeah, he's here. Yeah, he's leaving.
Yeah, well, but...
Not the whole, you should be expecting a visitor. He's going to your room right now.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that's no matter what you're doing, if somebody's, like, not right there to...
Protect you,
witness what's going on. Texting, calling.
I mean, I said my friend's my location, right? You have my location.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, it is a security measure, but not...
It won't protect you from getting killed. We'll just be able to find you or your phone.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't say that, but that's
the reality.
That's the reality. And so Andy called about 9:45 p.m. and Beth told him to go to Jalissa's room at 10 p.m. So she's giving Jalissa like 15 minutes.
He's calling himself Andy.
He's calling himself Andy.
Okay.
And then she texted Jalissa to let her know that he was on his way and to remind her to text her when she left. And Beth never heard back from her friend.
Oh, shit.
At 10:10, so super quick, 10 minutes after he goes to the room, right?
Yeah.
Police responded to a call from the Marriott that guests heard screams coming from a hotel room. Hotel security was the first to find Jalissa Brisman in her underwear in the doorway of her hotel room, covered in blood and a plastic zip tie around one wrist. She was rushed to Boston Medical Center, where she died shortly after.
Aww.
The medical examiner later determined that Jalissa had a fractured skull in multiple places from being hit with the butt of a gun. She was also shot 3 times, once in the chest.
They're just saying that they can hear that they can hear screams. They're not like, oh yeah, but there was gunshots too.
No, so maybe had a silencer on it or something.
Kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So she was shot once in the chest, once in the stomach, and once in the heart. And she had bruises and welts on her wrists, and she had skin from her attacker under her fingernails that would provide the DNA of the
and there's fingerprints too on the tape.
Yeah, however, that's not how they got him, but
okay,
it helped.
It helped, yeah.
It definitely was solid. It was solid evidence.
Yeah, that she was also a victim.
Yeah. At the same time that Jalissa was being taken to Boston Medical, police were looking at surveillance footage from the hotel at 6:10 p.m. or 6:06 p.m. A tall, blonde young man wearing a baseball cap was on the escalator, and police recognized the man as being the same man who had attacked and robbed Tricia Leffler 4 days earlier. And unfortunately, obviously, Jalissa's not as lucky as Tricia because, Tricia just gave in and gave him what he wanted. And obviously, Jalissa put up a fight rather than...
Do we know if he just went in there with the intention to try and rob her? Was her stuff missing to do the same and then he killed her or what?
Well, her stuff wasn't missing.
Oh, so he didn't rob her at all?
No, because she put up a fight and he ended up killing her, so he had to get out of there.
So he's like, fuck, I gotta go.
Yeah, he didn't have time to, get her stuff, right?
Okay.
Because he goes up there at 10. At 10:06, they already see him leaving on surveillance, and then at 10:10, people are calling. And people said that they thought that it was, a kid screaming because it was really high-pitched scream and, maybe just, disobeying the parents or something, or
women also scream high-pitched, people.
Well, they did end up calling.
Good.
So
bystander effect. Somebody else is going to call. I don't need to call. No. Yeah.
Call. Yep, exactly. If 15 people call, it's better than nobody calling.
Yeah, that was that car accident we saw a few days before Halloween. We both called 911.
Yeah.
We were in the car together.
Yeah. But you were getting out, so I didn't know you were calling. But anyway, so the next morning, Beth called the Marriott and she asked for hotel security when she was unable to reach Jalissa, and hotel security directed her to the police, told her to call the police, and she was given the horrible details of what had happened to Jalissa, and Beth was able to provide police with Andy's email address and cell phone number.
Okay.
You're not dun, dun, dun.
Well, sad.
And side note, and I don't know if I say this
You
later.
mean Tricia was able to do that, not Jalissa?
No, Beth. Because because they were emailing back and forth.
Yeah.
And then she had the phone that he called on.
Oh, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. So I guess the security worked in some measure.
Sort of. It didn't save anybody.
But it gave information.
Yeah, it was definitely the key to finding him, right?
It was useful.
It was very useful. And I don't know if I say this later, so I'm just going to say it now because I don't think I did. But coincidentally, the place, Boston Medical, where they took her was where Phillip was doing his rotation. Not right at that moment in time.
Right.
Because that's the hospital that
she's probably there by 6:30 if they were being called at 6:10.
10:06. 10:10. I'm just saying.
Wait, what did I say? 10:30?
You said 6.
6:30. What time was it?
10.
10 o'clock. Wait, earlier sometime then you said 6 o'clock.
No, it was
10:06. Okay, gotcha. He's fleeing at 10:06. Yeah.
Yes. But anyway, he wasn't there then at that day, but
obviously, because he was...
Because he was
He's not like, hey, I'm just trying to rob or get a quick diddle or do something and then going back to work.
A quick diddle. That's nice. And so the press, by this point, has picked up the story, and they're calling Phillip the Craigslist Killer. And not only were there reports of the attack and the murder everywhere, but they also, the media, the press, the newspapers, the television, like everybody was able to show the surveillance photos that were provided by the police.
Okay.
So he's like everywhere, right?
Yeah, he's out there.
Yeah. But 2 days later, on April 16th, Cynthia Melton...
Did she not read the fucking news?
No, apparently not. But, she also makes her living in a way that you have to take some risks.
Yeah.
So 2 days later, on April 16th, Cynthia Melton, who advertised lap dance services on Craigslist, was attacked in her Holiday Inn Express hotel room in Rhode Island. Because, all these are, like, right there, right?
Yeah,
Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Like,
is that the tri-state area?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But they're all, like...
It's 3 states combined?
Yeah. I don't understand what tri-state means.
No, I was asking if that was the tri-state area.
But, like, that whole part of the country is, like...
New England area, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I was in Delaware, and now I'm in Washington, D.C., and now I'm going to Maryland, and, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's all, like, right there. So...
We're just naming our fucking state.
So she also was tied up with zip ties and told...
Are we Miss Jersey?
And New York.
No, but he's from New York, so that's already been mentioned.
Yeah, but I said he was in Rhode Island.
Yeah, okay. The Holiday Inn room in Rhode Island.
Yes. The Holiday Inn Express.
Express.
And he told her that he wouldn't hurt her. He just wanted to know where the money was. And her husband, so apparently her husband's like her backup in this situation, interrupted the attack, and Phillip chose to run instead of using the gun that he was holding on the couple. So, I mean, like, the husband probably was like, I'm going to fuck you up. And he's like, I have a gun. So, but then he was like, fuck, I just should go because I've already killed one person.
Yeah. They're already looking for me.
Yeah.
I'm sure he knows.
I should.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure, like, he's seen the reports of himself.
I'm sure.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. After, like, he killed one person,
Yeah.
He probably is, checking that shit out.
Yeah.
Like, staying on top of it, being like, do they know about me?
Do they know?
Do they know about me?
Me specifically. So using the email address provided by Beth, the police were able to get the IP address that was visible within the Craigslist, algorithm, or within their database, or whatever, however you want to, like, the police got it from Craigslist.
Right.
Quickly. And they tracked the messages that were coming from an apartment in Boston. With the IP address, police knew exactly which apartment to start watching. And it was soon obvious to police that Phillip bore a striking resemblance to the surveillance photos. Shocker. On April 20th, so this is like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, this is quick. Rapid fire. On April 20th, police, under the guise of
420.
Smoke them up.
Under the guise of a traffic stop, pulled over Phillip Markoff and Megan McAllister in Massachusetts. That's a lot of M's altogether. I just realized that.
Yeah, you keep saying a lot of M's. Or Vernon, Verona. Wow. Wow. Wow, dog.
420. They were on their way. Sorry. I'm just going to move on with my life.
That's why I'm laughing. We're like,
So they were on their way to a casino in Connecticut, which... and so they stop him for traffic, right? And then Phillip was brought in for questioning because they stopped him like he doesn't think he's being stopped for being the Craigslist killer. He just thinks he blew a stop sign or something like that, And so...
My tags are expired.
Yeah, something like that. So while police were questioning Phillip, his apartment was being searched, and they found a
Did they have a warrant?
They had a warrant because they had enough. They had the IP address. They had a physical fucking match.
Yeah.
Like, they knew it was him.
Okay.
So yes, they had a warrant.
Otherwise, he could come after them for that.
He could.
He seems smart enough.
Yes.
But not really because he got caught.
Right. And quick.
Yeah.
Because he started his spree on April
fast.
10th, and April 20th, he's busted. So they found a semi-automatic handgun, bullets, cash, zip ties, and women's panties. They also took into evidence his computer hard drive that would prove to contain all of the Craigslist's correspondence. So that's how they got the transvestite stuff and the M for T, and that he was Ebony Monsieur or whatever.
That's how they got all of that.
Yeah, that's how they got all that information. And both Tricia Leffler and Cynthia Mellon were able to identify Phillip as their attacker. And at this point, of course, they're both feeling very lucky to be alive.
Yeah, of course.
Because like I said, Tricia was like, oh no, I didn't think he was going to kill me. It was fine, whatever.
Yeah, but then he ended up killing
Jalissa.
Yeah.
Yeah. On April 21st, Phillip was arraigned for Jalissa's murder, and he pleaded not guilty. But the prosecution's case was
What did his fiance have to say about all this?
I'm going
because they're together when he gets pulled
arrested.
over. Yeah.
Or when he gets taken in.
Yeah.
So the prosecution's case was pretty solid with the evidence that was found in Phillip's apartment. And after his arraignment, he was put on suicide watch because they noticed that he had shoelace marks around his neck.
From before?
No, because he was in jail on
for
the 20th.
A day.
Yeah, for a day.
Oh,
but he knows he's fucking busted.
I thought you couldn't have shoelaces in prison.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It says
maybe he changed the rules.
Yeah, maybe he's the one that changed the rules. Because
I thought they got Velcro.
He is the reason that Craigslist first changed they had the, what did I say it was? Erotic services.
Yeah.
Then they changed that to like adult encounters or something. But then shortly after that, they completely took that off of Craigslist altogether. And it was because of this that they did that.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
The Lonely Hearts Club.
Yeah. But I'm sure that it's still on there, just in a different way. But,
yeah.
I mean,
there's always loopholes.
Exactly. Like the poop hole loophole.
The poop hole loophole.
Gross.
That's how you get around it.
I can't believe I said that.
We take it up the butt so Jesus doesn't get mad. How does that song go?
I don't know.
I love the poop hole loophole.
I don't want to know that.
The fucking TikTok videos, the YouTube videos, that's the funniest shit ever. If you've never seen the poop hole loophole, look that shit up.
I haven't.
But You've never seen the poop hole loophole?
No, I just knew about it because I can't remember.
Oh my God.
It's in a movie or something.
You've never seen the poop hole loophole? Oh my God. When we're done, I gotta show you the poop hole loophole.
So
it's the funniest fucking shit ever. I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, it's in a movie. I can't remember what movie, but that's where I got it from. But I could only imagine and assume and deduce that it would, be on
TikTok.
All these different, socials. So Phillip's trial was expected to begin in July of 2010, but it was later delayed until March of 2011.
Okay.
The motive for the robberies was believed to be his $130,000 debt in student loans and also his love of gambling.
So, can I tell you something?
Of course you can.
This, just brought me back to, normalcy because I don't think I commented on how fast it happened in the last case with Kitty Genovese.
Mm-hmm.
That her killer, that he was, he killed her and then the trial just happened, pretty instantly after they busted him.
Right.
And then the trial for the other two women, too.
Right.
That, it all happened really fucking fast.
Right. It all went down very
And
quickly.
this is back to normalcy because I feel like we're used to hearing about that, right? Or for, time for them to build evidence, or they just can't even get them seen and into trial and, establish a jury and do X, Y, Z, till 2 years out normally.
Well, and that's what's happening here because it's rescheduled for March of 2011. He's just arraigned.
Yeah. In 2009.
Yeah, the next day, and they have enough evidence that they're not going to let him out.
Yeah, no, there's no bail, no bond.
Yeah, they're like, but the trial was scheduled for the following year, and then after that, it was scheduled for the following year.
Yeah.
So we went from it being
but
April
that's normal.
2009.
That's normal. That's what we hear. I just think I skipped over the fact how fast it happened with Kitty Genovese.
Yeah. I don't know, because I don't recall you saying.
Oh, it happened within a month and a half, 2 months.
Like from him being arrested to him being...
to the trial.
Wow, that's
it happened in I know it happened in the same year, the murder.
That's pretty
quick.
Awesome, actually.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it was just because it was the 60s or what.
And they didn't have that much going on.
Maybe.
Although it's New York, they should have had a lot going on in the 60s.
I was going to say, well, I feel like everywhere has a lot going on, but I don't know. It happened very swiftly. Maybe because there wasn't social media. I mean, we already discussed this, our mass media. But, but there wasn't, they could get people from different counties who maybe didn't hear about it like you would today.
Right.
There's just wildfire media happening today as opposed to back in the day. I think was where that episode, whatever episode it was, where I was like, oh, there wasn't mass media. That's maybe what I was meaning in my brain was that shit just doesn't happen like wildfire like it does today. Something happened 5 minutes ago and we're getting instant updates on it.
Yeah, exactly. Like the P. Diddy stuff that's going on right now.
Yeah. Mark's safe from being diddled today. Being P-diddled.
Wow. Wow.
I saw that on Facebook the other day. A friend of mine posted it. I was like, I love it. Mark's safe from being P-diddled. And then somebody comments on it. I was like, I don't believe you. It's one of my old coworkers.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll tell you who when we get off, but
okay.
One of the funny ones, obviously.
I bet I can guess. So there was speculation, but no real for sure knowing that the reason for his method of robbery was rooted in his secret desires. On Phillip's computer, there were several different profiles found where he posted on alternative lifestyle websites that he was looking for homosexual partners to engage in bondage and sadomasochism, and he specifically expressed a desire to be dominated.
Okay.
Initially,
so he wants the Maisie Gibbons chains, the fucking high heels on the back like Rex gets.
Yeah, I guess. That's
Desperate Housewives.
Yeah, I get the reference. But yeah.
Did you?
I did.
Okay. Well, you've only ever seen it once.
Yeah, but I know Rex, and I know about all that.
Plus, I know your fucking
go-to references are going to be Gilmore Girls, Desperate Housewives, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Supernatural.
Yeah. There's no denying any of that, right? Yes.
I can deduce.
Or the Vampire Diaries.
Oh, yeah. I can deduce
forgot about the Vampire Diaries.
Your reference points.
Yeah, which is so funny to me in my brain watching the Vampire Diaries versus watching Buffy. That I'm one show I'm rooting for the vampires, the other I'm yeah, go kill them.
With a stake through the heart.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like a suicide. And for sure it isn't.
And for sure it isn't, yeah.
It's a vampire slaying.
Yeah, it's vampire slaying. But see, in Buffy, they just turn to dust. So it's their existence was just wiped.
Like it should be.
Yeah.
Isn't that what always happens with vampires?
Not in the Vampire Diaries. They just all of a sudden desiccate.
Yeah.
But not turn to dust. Their bodies, there's their veins.
They get all gray and...
Yeah, you remember, don't you?
Yeah, I do. But then they're going to turn to dust pretty quickly after your body turns gray and stuff. We just don't witness it.
No, because they bury them.
Oh, yeah. And then they come back to life.
Yeah. Yeah. the originals do, yeah.
It's like Supernatural. How many times did Sam and Dean die?
Right, literally. How many times do we have to kill you off for you just to stay dead? That's what I'm wondering about for Liv.
I was sad. I didn't like it. I always wanted them to come back. Thank God they did.
Well, yeah, but that's different. That's a TV show. We're rooting for them.
Yeah. It's not real life where you don't come back to life after you've been killed.
Well, that we know of.
Right.
Whoa.
Some Pet Cemetery shit going on.
Oh my God, that was the conversation we had yesterday. You're like, I just had a heart attack. I thought my dog died. I didn't see her chest moving when she was sleeping. And then all of a sudden, she sprung back up to life. I was like, maybe she's Pet Cemetery. I was like,
she is kind of crazy.
She's really crazy. That's why I call her the piranha.
Maybe we should get back on track.
Yeah, let's reel it back in. Sorry.
Let's get the train car back on the tracks.
Let's get it back on the wheels rolling.
Let's do it. Initially, Megan McAllister, that's his fiance, right?
Yeah.
She stood by him and she believed in his innocence, telling the media outlets that he was beautiful inside and out and he wouldn't hurt a fly. However, on April 29th, so real fucking quick, she went to see Phillip in jail and she told him that the wedding was off.
I would hope so. Well, I don't think he's going to get out for the wedding anyway.
Right, since it's
like he found out on April 21st that like, hey, you're not getting out. But
right,
you don't
and
have
your trial's not till fucking March of 2011.
Yeah, we don't have your trial date exactly. It was supposed to be in 2010 and then it moved to 2011.
Right.
So they at that point they were like, okay, it's going to be a year out.
Right, but she could have said, we're going to have to push it back till you get out.
Yeah.
But instead she was like,
we're actually going to like, here's the ring. Well, I guess I'll take the ring still.
Right.
I'll keep the ring, but I'm going to stop wearing it. And
right.
I'm going to change
to get a refund on the venue and whatnot if we can, because it's only 4 fucking months away.
Yes. I feel like... actually, I was going to say, if I was somebody who was in charge of giving refunds in that situation, I don't actually know that I would have any sympathy for that.
Oh, I feel terrible for her.
I feel terrible for her too, but I mean like...
But we don't know what their refund policy is.
I mean in the fact of you're like, if you come to me and you tell me, hey, I'm going to need a refund because my ex just went to jail for...
He's the Craigslist killer.
Yeah, he's the Craigslist killer for murder, attempted murder, robbery, theft, burglary, holding people at gunpoint.
Assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah.
All of the things.
I would be like, you didn't know that he was crazy?
Nope. Nobody.
Hey, I guess I don't understand how people never know.
He had never been arrested. He'd never been in trouble with the law before. Like, this is the first.
Well, that was like the other guy in the last case, Kitty's murder.
Mm-hmm.
Murderer. Yeah, he had a clean record too, but although he admitted to doing shit, but
yeah,
he had a clean record.
Yeah, and I don't know if Phillip had admitted to doing anything prior or not.
Okay, sorry, continue.
No, you're good. On May 4th, Rhode Island issued a warrant for his arrest in the April 16th robbery attempt involving Cynthia Melton. Rhode Island's state attorney general said that their prosecution would not move forward until the charges in Boston were resolved. So they're
probably a good call. Don't fucking fight to have him there when he killed someone in Massachusetts.
Right, exactly.
Like, we want him in Rhode Island for a theft.
Right.
No, he actually committed murder in a different state, so let's leave him there to stand trial there, and then
we'll bring him here. So at least, like, things are going to be consecutive and not concurrent.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But it's also 2 different states, 2 different jurisdictions.
Right.
On June 11th,
I want him to get more where it hits harder.
On June 11th, Megan went to see him a second time, and she told him that she did not plan on seeing him again for, quote, a long period of time, if ever. And Phillip, again, was placed on suicide watch after he had another failed attempt to end his life.
Was that after his visit with Megan? After she was like, I'm never going to see you again, maybe?
Yeah, that was after.
I'm never going to see you again, maybe.
Maybe, probably, most likely. On August 14th, 2010, which would have been his 1-year wedding anniversary, he once again made another suicide attempt, which was also unsuccessful.
Okay.
The next day, on August 15th, when he did not come out of his cell for breakfast, then again for morning recreation time, jail personnel went to check on him, and Phillip Markoff was found dead in his cell. He was pronounced dead at 10:17 a.m. on August 15th of 2010. This time,
so
obviously,
he's a fucking coward.
This time, yeah,
it worked.
Yeah,
Stake through the heart.
Obviously, his suicide attempt was successful.
Stake through the heart, bury him at a crossroads or at the seashore. I don't care. This is like totally fucking fitting.
Right, or don't.
Why?
I know. I just thought it was funny that we were talking about suicide. I'm like, oh, hey.
Little do you know.
It weird how we always get that, like, that connection?
Sometimes. Sometimes we have the connection. Sometimes it's like fucking opposite ends of the spectrum.
And there's that, which is also a connection.
Yeah. What episode did you talk about the P? Which one of mine was that? Was that Papa? No, it wasn't Papa Legba. No, it was not Papa Legba.
No. I think it was...
It was one of the Martin Bryants.
Yeah, it definitely was one of those episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the dirty scums from down under.
Exactly.
He's not the thunder from down under. He's a dirty scum from down under.
Yeesh, we were going to talk about that. That was bad.
Yeah.
Real bad. So Phillip was able to take a blade from one of the disposable razors that inmates are allowed to use and he cut his wrists, and he also cut his femoral artery, which is located on the inside of the upper thigh, and it's a major source of blood flow.
Right. Well, and he has medical history,
Yeah, I
medical
was
training, so he knows these things.
His knowledge of, anatomy made it easy for him to make that fatal cut. Because if you remember, at the time of his arrest, he was a second-year medical student.
Yeah.
He concealed the blood by wrapping it with a garbage bag. Then he put another garbage bag over his head, and he tied it tight around his neck. I also read that before he tied the garbage bag around his head, that he had shoved toilet paper down his throat and then put the garbage bag over his head and tied it in a knot.
God, you'd have to be really fucking desperate to end it all if that's where you're going.
Right? Like, that's just...
Yeah. That just, makes me nauseated.
Right?
Like, you'd be really desperate to kill yourself for you to, take all those measures.
Well, and to be able to suffocate yourself seems like... Because he maybe was hoping to bleed out.
And then it didn't work.
And then, he wasn't bleeding out, so he suffocated himself. I don't know. But, that... Because I feel like... I don't know. It
makes me feel like shallow breathing.
Yeah, I was going to say, it makes you feel like I can't breathe, which, yes, it would be. And then you would want to take it off of yourself. But also, he really wants to die.
That's what I'm saying. That's you got to be in a very low place to really want to kill yourself in that kind of manner.
Well, clearly, he was in a very low place.
Yeah, well, I would be too if I was him, if I took a life.
He left no suicide note, but he painted the words Megan and pocket. Not aunt, but the words, two separate words, Megan, and then the word pocket.
I was picking up what you were putting down, Megan pocket.
Yeah, I didn't want you to think it said Megan and pocket. There was no aunt.
Megan and pocket, and red on the wall with his blood. So it's actually brown now.
Yeah, in his own blood.
Oh, it was in his own blood?
It was scrawled on his cell wall in his own blood.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck, you were right. So
what was in his pocket?
You called it. I don't know, because it says the word pocket remains a mystery. Remember how he was shoving all that stuff in his pockets?
That's I'm wondering if there's something in his pocket, when he died. Because, I think they have, tiny little pockets, you would put, a handkerchief in.
A handkerchief? Like you would be dressed for dinner in prison?
Yeah, no, but you know what I mean? Those tiny little pockets.
Yeah. Like a hot pocket?
Like a hot pocket.
I love hot pockets.
I haven't had a hot pocket in years.
Yeah, I haven't either.
A long time.
But I don't.
Yeah, I'm I don't want a hot pocket. But I did love them. I loved the ham and cheese one when I was a kid. Oh, don't get me started. Yeah.
I like the croissant ham and cheese ones. Or the breakfast ones with
Okay, why are we on this? Why do we always go to food? We are Lorelai and Rory.
Because we're hungry.
Stop. I am. I'm starving.
Yeah, we're supposed to go to dinner in 10 minutes, so we probably should wrap.
Probably should.
But anyway, that's what I got.
Pocket's a mystery.
Pocket's a mystery. Although, again,
not
like
Polly
I said,
Pocket.
he was wearing the cargo pants, assuming. Yeah.
Assumably.
Presumably, he was wearing cargo pants to be able to shove all that
what
shit.
Was that word you said? Attribulate. I'm why can't I think of it? It lives in my head rent free. I think about it all the time. And I'm that's not an actual word, Daphne. You can't actually say attribulate. I attribulate this to that.
I think you can. Because now it's a word. I've made it a word.
It's going to be in the Urban Dictionary. I'm going to put it in there.
A household word now.
Attribulate. When you attribute or relate to something.
And combined.
Yeah, and combined. When it's attribulated and related. It's attributed and related.
Oh, shit.
All right, well, R.I.P. Jalissa.
Yeah, R.I.P. Jalissa.
Fuck off, Lip.
And poor Megan.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Megan, but I also feel how could you not know?
Because people don't know.
I'm too observant not to know shit.
That's because you're nosy as fuck.
I like to call it observant.
You have no, personal boundaries.
I like to call it observant. Okay.
Sure. I attribute your observance to being nosy as fuck.
Yeah. I can't argue that. I'm nosy Rosie over here.
And it's you don't have a personal space boundary. At least not with me.
What do you mean?
Because when we go out to eat and stuff, which we're supposed to do now in 5 minutes, you will sit so fucking close to me if we're in a booth or something. That's why I always try to sit on the other side.
What do you mean? And Willie's dad always tries to sit next to me.
I know, and I let him.
Thanks.
Because I'm I'll have my space. Yay.
Having space has nothing to do with being observant. I mean, like, I fucking people watch.
Oh,
like,
I know you do. I know you're nosy as fuck, but I'm also saying
I know
you
when
would
someone's
be
gonna
over
be
my
a
shoulder.
problem.
You would be over Philip's shoulder on the computer, knowing that he was fucking looking for M for T.
That's not true. I would not be over somebody's shoulder.
Well,
God, you make me sound bad.
No, that's probably because you experienced that in real life.
People being over my shoulder?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, people and their fucking insecurities. It's like, motherfucker. It's like, god damn. Let me fucking scroll on Instagram in peace.
Get the fuck away from me. I'm trying to attribute things to stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to attribute things to stuff and get some new recipes, some new inspo.
Yeah,
Some new
besides
food
Pop-Tarts and Hot Pockets.
Yeah. God, no, a pop docket.
Well, we'll have Pop-Tarts for dessert when we get home from dinner.
I was trying to say
Which now we're officially going to be late for.
Okay, sorry, we'll wrap.
And Dad's probably flipping out.
We'll wrap. My thoughts on this case are it's very sad, and he's a piece of shit. I hope he's rotting in hell. I hope he got a stake through his heart so he can't come back, and that he's not terrorizing the living.
I hope that they buried him in the seashore and he got washed up right away and then
that
floated
sharks
out
came.
to sea. Yeah.
Well, actually, no. I don't want the sharks to eat him because sharks are my favorite animal.
Yeah, I just want him to have to float out to sea.
I hope some creepy, weird fish ate him, like one of those football fish. You know what I'm talking about? The ones that have the eyes, the light, and they have the piranha sharp teeth. You know what I'm talking about?
Though. It sounds like you're describing a fish wearing a hard hat with a fucking headlamp.
No, it is. They look like they have headlamps on them. I'm trying to.
Abby has her arm over her head with her fucking finger pointing like it's gonna light up like E.T. Ouch!
Yeah, I'll show you.
Now I want Reese's Pieces. Damn it!
What the fuck?
E.T.
Oh, the finger. Okay. All right. Okay, you can find us on Instagram at That's Disturbing Podcast. And you can send us a DM about what you want us to cover. And you can send us a Gmail, That's disturbingpodcast@gmail.com. Whatever your heart desires. All right. Okay, Mom, that's it from me.
All right, cool. Thanks for playing.
Thanks for coming to play today. Stay off of Craigslist. Bye-bye.